You see there, Cyclone Yas made landfall yesterday, carrying winds of up to 140 kilometers per hour and bringing heavy rain and high tide to coastal areas in the state. Water gushed into low-lying regions, inundating several villages. Power supply cut off. Yas has since moved inland towards the state of Jharkhand. It's easing to a deep depression, but is bringing heavy rain. Neha Punya is in New Delhi, and she tells us how relief efforts are faring in the wake of the cyclone.
Well, for the last few days, the focus really was on evacuating as many people as possible, and it was a race against time. There were more than 1.5 million people evacuated along India's east coast, many of them in the states of West Bengal and Odisha. But in the aftermath of this cyclone, as it moves northwestwards towards the state of Jharkhand and eventually towards North India, where it's likely to weaken over the next 12 hours, the focus is now shifted to relief operations and rescue operations. We're now seeing thousands of army personnel as well as the National Disaster Response personnel teams on the ground who are rescuing stranded citizens. Many villages, about 1,000 in the state of West Bengal, have been inundated. Many of them have been cut off. And the government, they're saying about 50,000 people have been rendered homeless in the aftermath of this cyclone. Similarly, in Odisha as well, many coastal regions saw extreme inundation, widespread flooding because of tidal waves that were as high as 14 feet. So the focus, officials say, is on rescuing citizens who are stranded in these regions, getting food and aid to them, ensuring medical aid reaches those people who've suffered any kind of injuries in the aftermath of this cyclone. The government in Odisha also promising free food grains to villagers who've been impacted by this cyclone for the next 1 week. Of course, there was extensive preparation, which is why officials say that the loss to life from this cyclone has been minimal, but it will take several days to ensure that normalcy returns to these regions.
Well, the effects from Cyclone Yas are being felt off the coast of Sri Lanka. It is hindering efforts to put out the fire on a container ship burning in the waters near Colombo. Authorities have warned people against picking up debris from the vessel as they might be hazardous. Fire has been raging on board the ship since last Friday, destroying some 80% of the containers it's carrying.
The major challenge is that the roughness of the sea because of the Yas cyclone of the Bay of Bengal. Sri Lanka Navy and the Sri Lanka Ports Authority have deployed their tugs and Bell helicopters and all other equipment to douse the fire, but still it is going there. According to the latest reports, that the fire has spread closer to the main control room of the ship. Authorities are taking measures to prevent some damages that could cause to the people there, and authorities stated that they issued strong warnings against them not to touch these items because that could be dangerous and because of the heavy chemical situation. And no information has been found about how to tackle this problem because the acidification of the seawater is highly possible with this leak, because we do not know what is the actual situation and what is the amount of leakage or what is the quantity of leakage. Still, investigations are going there, and fishermen have been asked not to go fish in seas near to these areas because of the debris and all other chemical equipment, chemical items and all other substances.
Your Asia Business Update next with Eugenia Lim, including a warning in China about its economic recovery as industrial profits grow at a slower pace. Later, energy companies Total and Chevron suspend cash dividends to Myanmar's state-owned oil and gas group.
Should you use your CPF for property investment? Come to the Singapore Property Show 2021 to learn more from leading property market experts in 40 informative webinars. Our top flight speakers will be covering a wide range of topics to help you make a most informed decision. How do you make the most of your CPF for property investment? Are ECs still the golden goose? Is owning multiple properties only for the wealthy? What kind of property is in demand by district? Get these answers and more. Plus, stand to win $8,000 worth of cash prizes. Join us at our webinars this weekend on 29th and 30th May for essential property investment advice. What are you waiting for? Visit sps2021.99.co to register now. The Singapore Property Show 2021 is proudly organised by MediaCorp and our esteemed partners.
This Saturday, could rising inflation derail the post-pandemic economic recovery?
Those parts of the market that are more overvalued could easily get hit.
Relooking China's growth model as its population ages.
Chinese babies are not growing into industrial workers in the future.
Plus, how to be a part of the blockchain boom. Saturday on CNA.
Every day, the financial world goes through dramatic rise and falls. We'll track the biggest market movers and show you where the opportunities lie. Get the experts' take on the performance of key indices. Plus all the analysis to help you understand forces driving global economies. The daily business news you need. Only on CNA. This segment is brought to you by Xeon Corporation.
This is Gabe Ochi-san. I make YouTube videos. While he does bespoke carpentry, I get up close with a new generation of local craft people.
Whatever it took to become a woodworker, I think I did it.
Starting with a furniture artisan.
If you are a CEO, the desk represents you.
Will I keep on my fingers? Handmade Tales, a brand new series, Sunday on CNA.
I'm getting my COVID-19 vaccine.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in.
And documenting all my side effects. Bam, the soreness set in. But with cases of infection among those who are vaccinated, how protected am I?
Now what we're seeing are actually mutants, which are quite different from the original strand.
Talking Point, Friday 9:30 p.m. on CNA.
In business news, profits at China's industrial firms jumped by 57% in April from a year ago. That's down significantly from March, when they almost doubled. The slower pace of growth is due to high commodity prices and weaker performance in the consumer goods sector. Chinese officials say some consumer industries are not yet at pre-pandemic levels, and they warn that the foundations of economic recovery for China are not yet secure, with uneven improvement in corporate performance. China's economy is expected to moderate this year after logging record growth in the first quarter. One analyst explains the concerns over the health of the world's second largest economy.
With the headline industrial profit growth, we have to bear in mind two things. One is the base effect is obviously causing a lot of distortions. Even at 50-60% year-on-year growth rate, it's still an astronomical rate. And we know that it's not a genuine reflection of the real activity. The second one is that within the headline industrial profit, you got obviously the mining sector, which is benefiting a lot from the higher global commodity prices, energy prices. And so also is the sectors that are supporting mining, right? The mining equipment and machinery manufacturers, they are also benefiting as well. But there are other industries that are taking these raw materials as inputs. So their profit margins and profitability growth would come under a little bit of pressure. But nevertheless, I think today's data is consistent with early activity numbers like the PMI, like the industrial production, manufacturing production for April. Overall, all of these data are suggesting that the industrial and manufacturing sector are continuing to perform well, and they are the better performing part of the Chinese economy, certainly compared to consumption and services, which growth remains fairly lackluster. We really need the consumption and the services part of the economy to catch up to make this whole recovery more sustainable going forward.